So in this video, we are going to generate and sync data with Infrahub. If I go to my Slurp'it instance, I have a bunch of devices here. And these devices also belong to sites. We have the Slurp'it headquarters and Cisco headquarters. Well, our devices belong to Slurp'it headquarters, and there are some DevNet sandbox always on devices that belong to the Cisco headquarters. So I also should have some plannings here. Not here under collected data, maybe hardware info. I don't have anything here. So let me check for maybe MAC addresses. I have some MAC address information. So what I'll do is I'm gonna go to the main page, and from here I will go to the task scheduler and click on hardware info. So we run the hardware info planning. I'm gonna wait a few seconds and pause it and come back once the information is gathered from this planning. Okay, once that's being completed, I will create another branch per documentation. So this is going to be called Slurp'it data, and this is going to be the branch that we put our Slurp'it data in. And I'm going to use this command infrahub sync generate config file, and I'm going to sync config.yaml. And once I do that, so before that I'm going to hit ls, you see I have 5 files only. So if I run this command, you're going to see these Python files created. I also should have 2 directories, Infrahub and Slurp'it sync. I'm not going to go into much detail, so we don't need to look into the specific Python files, but this is going to be responsible. These files are responsible for syncing our Slurp'it data with Infrahub eventually. So the job is finished. Hardware info is gathered. Now I will go back here. So here the third step is to check the differences between the current state and the generated data. We're going to skip that. We don't need it right now. The last step is to finally sync Slurp'it data with Infrahub, and to be more precise, with the Slurp'it data branch in Infrahub. We already have the schema, so I can just copy this and how everything works. During the syncing process, you're going to see a bunch of warnings. So these are not errors, these are just warnings. You can just ignore them and see what you will sync at the end. So we see now a progress bar. That means something is being synced with Infrahub. Whenever you see that, just know that it's a good sign and we're actually syncing. Sync is completed. So if I go to Infrahub one more time, Slurp'it data, I will refresh. I'll go to devices. My devices are here, plus the information that is attached to it. For example, the FQDN, manufacturer, and so on. If I go to hardware info is here. And let me see if we gathered any version. We did not. So this proves the point, I think. We gathered the devices and their attributes. As you see, we gathered the hardware info planning, and we can gather pretty much anything that we want using this method. So that wraps up this video, and this is probably the last video in this series. So I will see you in the future ones.